There's a place, a school, an institution where a professor resides. One that for the past 30 years has traveled the world teaching others. A pioneer in America of the fighting science of Savate. One who codified the sports of this fighting style. One who has produced clubs, champions, and continues to develop. Listen to words of Professor Buitron.
You know, I want to thank you all for continuing to follow me, and our subscribers are going up. I know that we're reaching people from across the globe in the four corners of this great world that we live in. And it's great to see the messages, the emails that we get, and go through them and so on and so forth. And the question that was asked is keeping your standards. And I'm going to answer that question. But first of all, if you guys like our content, we're always trying to produce the best content for you all, at least for you all to acknowledge and to learn something and to take with. If you can take something from the questions and answers that I'm giving you all, because we're nearing that the 100 one, and we're gonna have something special for it at our 100th questions and answers, and then we're gonna travel off and stop doing the Mondays questions and answers, but we're going to be doing a tip of the week. How about that? We're going to do that, and I think that's going to catch a little bit of attention. We're going to work on all aspects of Savate when that comes in. But anyway, the question is, how do we keep your standards? Well, it's very simple. Keeping your standards is something that you, as an instructor, have to always pay attention to. Okay. You have to understand why you're teaching, not why the student is coming to train, what you're teaching and what is it for. Okay. I also understand that we run a business, and the standards that I've always had have been always the same standards that I've had since I first started teaching, whether I taught here in France or wherever I teach, anywhere I go. Because we have movements of dance through Savate across, in several different countries as well. And that standard has to be kept in at a level, certain level. A lot of people lose themselves when the little frog skins start coming in. It's called money. And when they start seeing that you can lower your standard, give out rank, because that's what happens in the martial arts, or sell your rank, your name on it, then you just lowered yourself. Okay. If I teach, and the reason I teach martial arts is for people to learn how to defend themselves and learn how to fight. If they can't do that, that's your name going out there in the street. Understand? I understand that not everybody's going to be a world champion. Nobody's going to be a US champion. Nobody's going to become a silver glove. Not everybody's going to be the bone roller, knuckle dragger, you know what I'm saying? Sidewalk thumper that people want to attain. But people that leave the school, if they're going to be very capable of defending themselves within a fight, okay, that's what we pride ourselves with. In fact, there's schools here in martial arts schools here in Laredo that tell people, why do you go train with Paul Buitron? They're crazy. They're going to teach you how to fight in the street. Well, why are you going to want to fight? You want to fight in the closet, the bathroom, on PlayStation? When you are going to defend yourself, more than likely it's going to be in the street or at a bar. It's not going to be in the dojo. Okay. So, with that said, I have always maintained my standards because I never wanted to disrespect my instructor, whether I was in the ring or whether I got into an entanglement in the street. I never wanted to disrespect my instructors for what they taught me. Believe me, I didn't disrespect them. I might have gotten a bruise or two, but I never disrespected them. So when people come in and start asking why standards, just start looking at standards. I've been teaching the same. And I've always go back, what's going on? Why am I being so hard? How come the students are dropping out? So on and so forth. You have to kind of pattern it out. There's a lot of things a person comes to your school to learn what? To learn. So you have to teach them, not make them believe that they learn how to fight. You have to teach them how to defend themselves, both offensively and defensively. So, with that being said, if you start getting people that come out and all of a sudden they start, instead of their guards here, their guards down here, and they're sparring and they're switching sides and doing it, you yourself have just lowered your standards because number one, the pedagogy of Savate, whether it's Savate Dance de Rue or Savate Books and Says, does not do that. Okay. You kick with the rear leg fuerte and you drop it in front. That doesn't happen. Understand? If you kick with the rear leg, your leg goes back to the rear. You kick from the front, it goes back to the front. Okay. You don't switch stances and run around and put your hands in your pocket and do whatever you want. You're dropping your standards. Okay. So you always have to look at that. What kind of standards am I looking at? What kind of people do I want to teach? Understand? Money's money. And a lot of people get hypnotized by money and their standards lower. They start popping out people with rank. They start claiming rank that they don't have to be able to gain more little frog skins in their wallet. I don't blame them. Times are hard. They've always been. People need to make money, especially if you're doing savant, right? And when you teach that way, and when you're in that way, that the main concern is making money, the quality, the standards of your students and the technique level of those in your school are going to lower, and you're going to see right away. Okay. That's why a lot of people call a lot of these schools that are out there teaching McDojos. Why? Because all they're interested in is going out there and just producing a test mediocrely for little Billy, little Mary to be able to just kick around, impress the parents that don't know what's going on, and all of a sudden you're dishing out money. Why? Because it's a selling point. It's to make money. Now, that doesn't mean you're not going to have tests. You can't give away all the regalia because it costs money. You have to offset everything else. If you're going to bring in a professor to help you out, most professors are going to travel for lodging and flight and meals. Really, okay. Some of them are going to charge some type of stipend, but it's not going to be something that's going to break your bank. So you have to put all that aside. Who are you going to be affiliated with? Are you going to be affiliated with somebody that doesn't care about standards as well? So do not lower your standards. And if you do, start writing down what you're doing. Ask what's going. I do that. Listen, when I answer a question here, it's for you all to learn from what I've gone through already, what I've lived, okay, in this life. I've been doing it for 30 years. I've been teaching. Actually a little bit more, but 30 years I've had the school. Okay. And so you have to understand what you're teaching for. If you are going to have a club that's going to take fighters to the ring, regardless where, but you're going to take them to the ring. And the persons are throwing jabs and their hands are right here and they're doing all this motion and they're going this way, and that person gets knocked out. Whose fault do you think it is? It's your fault, number one, for not teaching them correctly. Second, it's his fault for not getting conditioned and not trying to search what is correct and what is not. So you have to understand that there's a lot of people out there that just teach for ego and teach for how much money am I going to get out of it. If you teach for the care and love of the person that's coming in there as your student that you have for them, because you have to take care of them, then you're going straight in that straight line of keeping your standards up. Okay, but remember, I understand about paying rent and paying bills and overheads and so on and so forth, because we've all have to pay that. So you have to put down the pencil and see how much time it's going to be, what's going to be to pay. Because if you're teaching just to keep the school open, you're doing something wrong. Also, it's not about gorging people in the eyes. It's about understanding and keeping your standard level going up. Okay? Sometimes things changed. I've had students of mine that, oh, I remember doing that back in the 90s, but Professor, you were a lot harder with us in the 90s. Probably because you guys were fighting. Right now, I don't have the fighters here, but I'm still the same. I'm still going to ask you for the pivot. I'm still going to ask you when you jab, for you to protect your hand inside and out. Your hands are going to be up here. I haven't changed all that. You're still going to do a fuerte. You're still going to do it complete. You're just not going to kick it off the hip. So remember, what makes us and breaks us is a standard that we give, and we give to the work that we're teaching. Because this craft right here, that's what it is. It's a craft. And when we lower our standards just to make more money out of that craft, then we have problems in the future. Folks, I'll leave you with that. That was an excellent question that was asked. At the beginning of this month, we're going to be having our 32nd annual Passage de Grade. Okay, we're going to have Professor Andre Germain. We're going to have Professor Jean-Louis Lassen, and myself, and we're all going to be teaching. And you're going to see all the aspects of Dance through Savate, from the ring to the street, from the weapons, all over the place. So if you'd like to pass by, drop me an email at buitronacademy2012@gmail.com. If you all want to start learning classes and take classes online, then go to buy me a coffee at Buitron Academy. Okay, until next time, much peace. Stay safe.
Today, in America, more than 5.5 million men, women, and children train in a martial art regularly. Buitron Academy has been serving Laredo for over 30 years now. Our adult classes are geared for producing the best in you, teaching you street-ready techniques. With the arts of Savate and Kinpo, you'll learn the traditions of these sciences of combat, as passed down professor to student.
Hello, my name is Jaime Garcia. I started Savate when I was 17 or 18. I'd like to say it was because I was in search of knowledge, but truth be told, I joined Savate because I got my ass kicked in a bar. My mouth was writing checks, my ass couldn't cash cash, so I figured I should learn how to fight. I was looking through the paper, trying to find someone that I could really learn something from, and I came across Buitron's school. Even though it was on the other side of town for me, I wanted to go someplace where I wasn't going to be wasting my time. So I came by. He was nice enough to take me on as a student, and I started learning. I went all the way up until I think it was white glove, pretty consistently. As a matter of fact, I think I even failed one glove because one year I wasn't prepared enough. I believe it was my green glove. So I had to take my green glove twice, but definitely didn't stop me from coming back, because that was definitely my fault. But I kept coming back year after year, and I loved it. I had to stop when I was about 25, 26. I had to go to school, I had to go off to college, but I never forgot what I learned here, and I promised myself I would always come back. I just had to get some life stuff done. So I went to school. Savate definitely not only gave me the confidence to do so many other things in my life, but It also got me out of a lot of trouble that I admittedly got myself into. But definitely, one of the most important things I ever learned in my life was how to fight. I finally came back, even though I live in Austin, which is a good 3.5 hours away. I still make the time to come every month to come and learn because it's one of the best decisions I ever made in my life, one of the best things I ever did. And I believe it gives a person something that the society is very much missing these days, which is a discipline and a drive to go forward, drive to keep doing what you're doing. And I believe in it so much, I'm just waiting for my kids to get old enough to hopefully start doing it themselves. And yeah, best thing I ever did in my life, and I wouldn't change it.
Come train at the best kept secret of Laredo. Give us a call for your free evaluation at 956-401-4868 or check out our website at Savate.biz. Follow us on YouTube and Facebook.